Okay boys, so welcome back to another video. In this one I'm just going to do a trade breakdown of a Euro USD sell that we took, which actually made us $3,000 over 200 accounts. So without further ado, I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to go through the narrative behind it first, and then I'll show you the checklist of how we entered. So effectively on the higher time frame, we are moving upwards, but our strategy basically banks on reversals. So what we pretty much look for is the first sign of a reversal is a higher time frame shift in structure. So I'm on the 5 minute now, but on the 30 minute, we were making higher highs and higher lows. And then here we were at the peak of a range and we actually shifted structure to the downside here. So from there, that is our first sign that we want to go further down. Now, when I say further down, I don't mean the whole trend is going to change and we're going to start moving bearish for the foreseeable. But what I tend to look for in prices, if we're moving upwards and then we actually have a shift to the downside, I'm not actually trying to catch a great deal of a move. I'm trying to catch maybe a tiny move here. I'm not trying to catch the whole range, So what I've done is we've seen that first sign of reversal here. We've refined our entry down and we're only really catching this small move here. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm not trying to catch a full trade. I'm just trying to catch a small 1 to 2, a little scalp, and that's exactly what we did. But I'm going to go more in depth into it, but I'll just give you the narrative anyway. So we had, first sign was a market structure shift to the downside. So now what I've done is I've marked out the order block, which we have a video coming about how we use order blocks and stuff, because we use them here and there, but only if they're, at these premium or discount ranges. So in this premium area, we've marked out the order block, which was the last bullish candle before the bearish move, which caused the shift, and we waited for a retracement. So the day before, we actually tapped into this order block and got a pretty nice reaction. I mean, I'd be happy to take this trade alone. It would have brought me a nice 1 to 4, but we're not looking for that. We wanted more confirmation. So what happened the day before is we tapped off this order block, and then we rebalanced price by dropping even further, and that caused a break of structure to the downside. So not only have we had a market structure shift, but we've also had a break of structure as well, which means that the trend is even more strong. So after this, New York's come in, and then the day after, obviously it's outside of our window that this has happened, but we've retraced all the way back up through our Asian. Now we only step on the chart at 8 a.m, which is London open. But what happened was we actually retraced back into another order block, and this goes into mitigating order blocks, which we do have a video coming about soon. But as of right now, we mitigated this order block, and then we had another reaction back down throughout London. So at this point, we were strongly looking for sells, and it just gave us our whole narrative for the day. So we don't even need to look at daily bias, just the narrative itself is we have momentum to the downside, we're reacting off these areas, and price action is balanced. So that for me was all we needed. So London wasn't really a session to trade. We mainly just built up accumulation. So all we did was mark out most of the accumulation here. So it kind of varied. The mean range of this, 50% orders were just getting put in and out. So one thing I do like to do is I like to mark out the accumulation of the range, and then from there I like to kind of look at the mean, which is the 50% of this, to see what got took out. And within New York Open, we actually took out this range, and we had a great target below. So we had a few good targets. So before we even put the trade on, we had Asian lows, we also had the previous daily lows, which were on New York, and then we also had this low just below Asian range. So we've got 3 clear targets of where we want price to go. So I was anticipating that we were going to go lower just to keep price action healthy, especially in these ranges, because realistically we weren't going to get a whole move right down here. But if I could catch even this move here and just get a nice higher time frame breaking structure to the downside, that is all I was looking for. So what actually happened was we had a market structure shift within Asian range. So I hate replay mode because it's just such a fucking messy thing. But anyway, I marked out the market structure shift here. So we had a shift in market structure after the one that we had this morning. I say this morning, it was fucking like 3 days ago now. But we actually had a market structure shift in the morning here, and we didn't retrace. So we had 2 market structure shifts to the downside, which is great. This is what we're looking for, and it's just building I don't fucking know. It's just building more confluences that we're going to go down. So we've swept that liquidity at New York Open. we've had a shift to the downside, and then we've drawn our fib. So we've drawn the fib from the top of the market structure shift leg to the bottom. Now from here, I've simply entered on the 0.7. I've put my stop loss to 10 pips, which just clears, just cleared London highs, and then I set my take profits to 1 to 2, which is 20 pips. So it's just below this low, but we'll go for 1 to 3. I didn't actually catch the full 1 to 3, I just took a 1 to 2 because after 7 p.m. my time, or 3 p.m. UK time, market kind of slows down in some cases, but because this was a Monday, it actually flew. So within here, it was super simple. We absolutely flew to take profit, so simply. So why was this move outside of our strategy? And there was a few reasons. So our strategy is based off a external sweep, usually a session sweep. So that's the first thing. So automatically in this trade, we actually missed that. We then have a market structure shift in the opposing direction. I fucked that spelling up, but it's all good. So we have a market structure shift in the opposing direction. So that actually happened in the morning. So we had a push up, we had a breaker structure which actually swept Asian highs, and then we had a market structure shift to the downside. And then we accumulated. So the next thing that we look for is a retracement into the fib. So like Gray was saying in the strategy video, the fib settings that we have are 0.786, 0.7 and the 0.618. Now there is a few little rules with why we use this and why it changes, but we enter on the 618 if we can't get a stop to clear the highs. So for example, if we tried entering at the 0.618 and our stop didn't clear these highs, we couldn't take from here, so we now have to go to the next one up. From here, if it still doesn't clear, we then have to move it up again. But with this one, the 0.786 hit the spot, and it didn't actually tap the 786 here, so we ended off the 0.7. But yeah, it was a super simple fucking trade. I mean, it started off quite slow, but it just had some crazy momentum. We didn't actually have any news that day either, so price action was weird. But anyway, so with this move being said and done, we actually rebalanced price. So we had the breaker structure down, we rebalanced, mitigated this order block again, and we broke structure to the downside again. So that is why this trade made so much sense. Now, as for what happened after that, I mean, I was out of the trade anyway, so I didn't really care. But we did actually accumulate, and then I think we went higher. So again here, we accumulated, came back up, and then let me just fucking exit replay mode. I don't really need that anymore. But yeah, so this move was valuable because we had the market structure shift, breaker structure, and another breaker structure, and we rebalanced price. Now we've actually struggled to break this new low here, and we had news in the next coming days after that, which actually pushed price super bullish. So what am I expecting from now? Well, the week's just finished. We're actually at Friday right now at 5 o'clock, so I won't be looking for any entries here, but we did actually just miss a entry which isn't on this account, it's actually on another, but I'll put in the Discord. So our Discord right now, we actually just missed an EU trade, so we were in EU and GU. EU actually hit take profit, full TP, no drawdown at all. EU didn't really correlate, and it actually went into a bit of profit and then hit stops. So that trade was actually sent out to the team. A few of them actually got in at the start of the week. So where is so GU sell the other day, and more GU sells, and let me see where it is. Euro USD sell. So a few of our students actually got into it, which is good to see. We like seeing this. We do send all of our entries into the Discord as well. So if you are looking for a place where you can share your analysis, get set up, and just become consistently profitable, and we've got traders here hitting serious numbers in the chat. But yeah, we have a free Discord which is linked in the bio. It's a free Discord where you can chat away, share some analysis, whatever. I also share my entries in here, so I'm pretty sure I actually shared. Oh, there we go. So that was EG. I had that marked up. hit full take profit. I share all my trades in the free Discord, so make sure you join that. But that was just a quick breakdown of the trade that we did take, which made us $3,000. I probably fucking waffled a little bit in here. But yeah, this is how easy the strategy really is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Another trade breakdown will be coming. December's slow usually, so if anything comes through, I'll make sure to make a video on it. But yeah, that's it for this one. Peace.